Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we want to talk about Scamazon, inside an Amazon reviews scam. This is a story that happened to a friend of mine over the course of the last month, and so I wanted to bring this to your attention because it appears to be a slight variant to the brushing scam that has gone around. So we're going to jump over and have a look first at, let's go ahead and actually have a look at Amazon. What I did here is I searched up just charging cable. We'll get a lot of things relevant to us over here, right? Here's some USB-C fast charging cables. Get it today. Here's your Amazon's choice. Now, these are lightning cables, and I bet that these are not official Apple, which means they have a very good chance of blowing up your phone. So, that's the way Apple likes to work. Here you go. You get a 3-pack for $13. Way big savings over Amazon. And the question now is, are these going to be good? Are they going to be safe? And what the question is how the reviews work. And so looking at the reviews, there's some 1-star, there's some 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Let's start by having a look at what the 1-star reviews say. Not very durable, they're a waste of money. Literally all 3 chargers are broken in less than a month. Phone fell off the couch while it was plugged in. The charger piece broke off in the phone. Another week later, the exact same thing fell out the bed. And the third one is in the car, worked for 2 days before it broke as well. And he has a picture of what the charger looks like. So scam, when you're asked to review for some store credit, the product is not quality. Well, that's interesting. Do not buy, fire hazard, and equipment is destroyed. Walk away. So, and you can see here, Amazon has this thing here called the verified purchase. The idea here is to say, oh, you're a verified purchase. You clearly bought the thing, and therefore, having bought the thing, you'll have a better one. That was their first way of trying to say, hey, let's get around all of these people. Let's have a look at the 5-star. Changing my negative review. The company went out of their way to contact me and send new charging wires, no cost. Worked nicely and you're pleased. Excellent charging cables. Flexible and durable. So you can kind of see here that all these are verified purchases as well. And that's what Amazon has done is let's have this verified purchase tag. So if somebody's purchased the item and now they have, now the review shows as verified. Well, this created the whole new thing called the brushing scam. And so what Amazon, it does, it's not, and this, by the way, doesn't have as much to do with Amazon itself. Sure, there's some things they could possibly do to change things. I'm not disparaging Amazon. I still use them. There's some good advantages to them. Of course, they did shut down a lot of the small stores, and so I'm forced to buy a lot of things on Amazon now, unfortunately. But at that same time, with them doing the verified purchasers, now these scammers are going, well, how do we get all these verified purchasers? I got an idea. It's kind of the same thing. You find there were some mega church pastors. Driscoll was one of them, and Furtick was one of them. There's been a number of these guys. They got involved in this scammy, quote, Christian marketing program that guaranteed you a place on the New York Times bestseller list. What they would do is they were taking this is scammy. This is why I avoid those people at all costs. They were taking up to $250,000 of their church money and giving it to this marketing company who would then break up the sales into individual looking sales and scatter them across such a way that it would game the New York Times bestseller list. Well, the scammers are doing the same thing on Amazon. What they're doing now is there's a marketing company, and we covered this in the news not long ago. I forgot to pull up that article. But in this, what they did is they were saying, hey, pay us $250,000 and we'll guarantee you a spot on Amazon's Choice program, because Amazon's Choice program is just how many people have bought it in conjunction with the reviews. So then the marketing company is going to break those down into organic sales and then issue reviews. Well, the problem is now people had to come up with a way to pay for this. And so now we're combining the brushing scam with ID theft to create sub-profiles utilizing other people's payments. And that's exactly what happened to a friend of mine. And I haven't seen that one explicitly described. But let's go ahead and have a look over at the Identity Theft Resource Center. And they have here the brushing scam. And I'm trying to see if these articles, I don't know if they're dated or not. Okay, so this is going back to 2018. So this is not a brand new scam, but in this version of the scam that the article here is talking about from a few years ago, this idea is somebody would have packages showing up at their house that they didn't pay for, and it's full of a bunch of Amazon things. And then people will look at it, and oftentimes it's just a bunch of random crappy junk. And looking at this, what was happening is the companies were buying their own products under other people's names and then sending it to random addresses. And that's part of what happened to a friend. So I'm not, just in case details get out, I'm not going to unveil even the scammer's name, but it was a consistent scammer's name showed up at the house, and packages kept showing up. This started, I'd say, about 6 weeks ago to my friend's house here in State College, and a little package shows up, and it had, I think it had just like a little journal in it. It had a dog collar, and I think a cheap phone case. Just a bunch of random crap. Shows up to his address, on his address, but to the name of a different person. And then a couple days later, we got another package, same name, address. Another package, same name and address. Now, in the original brushing scam, what this article is describing is you're not paying for that particular item. The problem is now the company had to come up and invest in the amount of money to buy the products, and then they would come up and leave a positive review. So that's what happens, is they're sending a box of stuff. Now, is it really a scam? So scam alert, is this an Amazon brushing scam? Third-party sellers are now buying their own products so they can leave 5-star reviews, then using victims' names and addresses to disguise themselves as real customers. Now, again, in this case, they did not pull them in under my friend's name. They used an alternative name. Well, fast forward about 3 or 4 more weeks, and now he notices there's Amazon charges on his account. So he goes back and has a look at his own Amazon account, thinking maybe his own Amazon account was breached, and lo and behold, it was not. So what happened is people were creating an Amazon account utilizing his address. And then what they would do is they were able to steal his credit card number, and it was an Amazon account with his credit card number. And I think what they were doing is establishing their name to his address first. And then I think he said that the scam charges, at least some of those, paid for the crap that showed up at his house. Some of them did not, but it was, again, all under a different name. It was not a breach specifically of his Amazon account, but does appear related to identity theft, which did compromise a credit card number as well. So they knew his name, they knew the credit card number, they knew the address. They were able to create the account and go ahead and put the order through and then send that to him under somebody else's name, but eventually he was the one paying for these, and then these are subsequently being used to make verified purchase reviews. And if we could go back and find those individual products, maybe we would actually see this person, this scammer's name, leaving positive 5-star reviews, which makes it a brushing scam. It's just they found a new way to not have to pay for the products themselves, coupling the brushing scam with identity theft. Now, before we get too much further on that, I do want to bring to your attention one of the laws here in the United States on unordered merchandise from the Federal Trade Commission. Now, this actually has its ties going back, if you remember, maybe there's the music companies. There's Columbia was one of them, and BMG was one of them. And these companies started out by, borrowing marketing lists, kind of knowing what people liked, sending stuff. You're like, oh, wow, that's a cool CD showed up in the mail. And they'd be like, hey, pay us for those. And this was actually happening, I think, before these companies got involved. That's just an example that some people may still be aware of. And the government cracked down on these, saying, no, you cannot send unsolicited products to somebody's house and then ask them to pay for it. So as right now in the United States, the way the law stands is if somebody sends you a product in the mail, whether it's accidental or not, they cannot in any way request you send it back or charge you for that product. If you receive something unsolicited in the mail, it is yours. That's what federal law says. And you can decide what you want to do. Do you want to send it back? I wouldn't be paying my own money to send it back. I'm like, no, sorry. And so here is from the Federal Trade Commission, the information. Am I obligated to return or pay for merchandise? No. If you receive merchandise that you didn't order, you have the legal right to keep it as a free gift. Must I notify the seller if I keep unordered merchandise? Although you have no legal obligation to notify the seller, you may write the seller an offer to return the merchandise provided the seller pays the shipping and handling. Is there any merchandise that can be sent legally without my consent? Yes. You may receive samples that are clearly marked for free and merchandise from charitable organizations asking for contributions. You may keep such shipments as a free gift. Is there any way to protect myself from shippers of unordered merchandise? When you participate in sweepstakes or other goods advertised as a free or trial or unusually low price, be cautious. Read all the fine print to determine if you are joining a club with a regular purchasing notification obligations. Keep a copy of the advertisement or catalog that let you place the order to. That may make it easier to contact the company if problems arise. And where can I go for help in dealing with unordered merchandise? Always start by trying to resolve the dispute with the company. If this doesn't work, contact the state or local consumer protection office, local postal inspector, or the Better Business Bureau in your area. So that's if you happen to get some. So if a random Amazon box shows up at your house with things and it's clearly to your address and you didn't pay for it, a brushing scam, you might contact Amazon, be like, hey, I didn't order this stuff. This isn't me. Whoever ordered this, please put a fraud alert on that. But you have no obligation to send it back. Even if Amazon's like, hello, thank you for sending it back. We are going to have you send it back. Now, if Amazon wants to send me a prepaid label to send something back, and they'll probably do that, I would do it, but they may or may not care. So that's just part of the scam, is you're going to get stuff. Now, what happened to a friend of mine in his case? What was the first major warning sign? The first warning sign is a package showed up that was not to his name, that was at his actual address. And he even talked to his postal carrier to say, is there anybody with this name on your route? And the postal carrier said no. So hear what he thought, and he didn't actually see that he was paying for any of this stuff until a credit card statement came later, because they were actually utilizing a gift card balance in their Amazon account, which is actually what I recommend people do. Load up your Amazon account with a few $100s in cash, use that rather than tying credit cards to your account. So that's actually what he was doing. But eventually what happened is he found that, yes, at least some of those crap junk product orders were paid for from his credit card, sent to his address, just under a different name. And so if you receive any information from Amazon packages to your house that you didn't order, particularly under a different name, then the first thing you should do is contact Amazon, make them aware of it, that somebody is ordering products under a different name going to your address. Amazon's going to be the best to figure that out. Second, look at all of your credit card accounts, because it's likely they are actually utilizing your credit cards to place those orders. They're just coming to a different name rather than your name to throw off suspicion of what is going on. So what he was able to do is he kept all the products in case somebody needs him to do something with those products as part of the scam. He contacted the credit card company. He put a fraud alert on all of his credit card bureaus, and then they had the credit cards changed out and things like that. It does not appear any compromise was done to his Amazon account. And so that is an important point to keep in mind there. And so with that is kind of what this scam is about. And so we're going to go ahead and keep this one here. I do want to mention though, since we're talking about Amazon, I actually do have an Amazon affiliate account, tlm.li/Amazon. So if you do purchase from Amazon and you want to help support the channel, that is actually a great way to help support the channel. Overall, I don't hold Amazon against this for anything here because this is scammers. Now, what could Amazon do differently? Well, they could double check and cross-reference that, multiple people aren't using the same address, get a hold of people, but even that's kind of difficult. Maybe they just need to, here would be a fun thing. Hey, let's figure out something else to do with reviews. That's the thing. But anyway, if you do use Amazon, using my Amazon link, tlm.li/Amazon, that will actually help support the channel. So, I do use Amazon myself. I do recommend sending things to an Amazon pickup location. I do recommend utilizing cash or prepaid debit cards is a good option for Amazon as well. So there is the thoughts and the updates on the Scamazon Amazon review scam. They are now officially stealing people's identity, and you are officially buying the cheap crap that comes to your house because, dude, no one's buying our cheap crap. Let's just steal their identity and make them use the cheap crap. And that's seems to be what they're doing. So keep an eye out for all those warning signs and, let Amazon know. I don't think letting postal carriers know is going to do anything, but letting Amazon know for sure, letting your credit card companies know and put fraud alerts on your bureaus. That would be a good practice to do here as well. So just want to bring that to your attention. Let me know if this is helpful. And maybe I'll try and do a little bit of follow-up, see if all the products were actually there. And maybe I can track down some of these products and see if we can actually find the fake review. That would be epic. So with that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.